every orthodontic practice says they love referrals, but most only ask for them every once in a while when they remember. And that's kind of like planting one seed and then wondering why on earth your garden isn't full later on. So that's why we've created what I'm calling a referral map to show you all the different opportunities that you have to ask for patient referrals in a non-awkward way in that patient experience. From start to finish, there are literally dozens of opportunities hidden in plain sight. So we're going to walk through what those are in this video and give you examples that you can take and apply right away so you can attract more of those patients via referrals. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen so you can get an idea of what this referral map looks like. It's a good visual representation of all those opportunities I talked about in the patient experience. So let me share my screen here. If I can, there we go. So, and then this will help, we'll walk through each of those stages like I mentioned. So it all starts with your website. And the website, some of the messaging that you have on your website. This is one of the first impressions that the patient's going to have. They're going to look through, they're going to see a little bit about who you are. And I like to have on there verbiage that talks about how you are a referral-based practice. And it could go something along the lines of this, and instead of spending or investing thousands of dollars each month on advertising and billboards and things like that, we've chosen instead to invest in the patient experience with better tools and equipment, better staff, so that you just have an improved overall patient experience. And because of that, we ask our patients to help refer. Once they've had a great experience, then as soon as they've had that, we ask them to invite 2 friends to come learn about our practice or come in for a free consultation. Something similar to that, just so that they can understand why we are a referral-based practice. That it's not just that we want, the referrals, but it's because we're focused on delivering that high quality experience, and we've invested in that. And that's where they come in, is they can help drive some of those referrals. And you can do additional things on your website too. That's what I would recommend, but you can also do something more simple and just have an option on there like, hey, love your smile, then share it, refer a friend and get rewarded. Something simple messaging there that they can click on. They can learn more about a referral program perchance and see, again, some of the benefits that are involved with them referring, but also the patient or the friend or family member that comes to your practice. So that's a great thing, but I would love to have somewhere on your site to have a dedicated page all about your referral program, and that includes those exclusive benefits only for those people that have been referred. So it's not something that's available to everyone. You want to make it exclusive so that they feel, there's an additional benefit there. And it's an incentive for your patients to share that with people that they know and say, hey, look what I can do for you, because they know me, because I was a patient, you get access to this, 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 and this, and that's awesome. You want something to offer like that. You can also have, and this will be a theme throughout all these some of these other opportunities as well, have some of those patient testimonials that include in there that mention that they were referred by someone. That's a key part of that testimonial, is that they were referred by a friend. They were referred by another doctor, a provider, something like that. You want to highlight those on your website, because again, it's kind of a subtle seed that's been planted for referrals. The more times, and that's what really this whole thing's about, the more times they can see that or feel that there's referral here, referral here, referral here, then it's just going to seep into their subconscious, and it's going to be something that they just do, so that's what I've seen. Right. It doesn't have to always be this big, bold, blatant thing, but if they're seeing it, on the website in a patient testimonial, or they're seeing it down the road, as we're going to talk about some in-office signage, similar thing, it's going to start to take root, and they're going to know, one, that you do accept new patients and referrals. It's amazing how many patients don't know that. But that two, that it's encouraged, and that you get rewarded for doing that. Okay. So that's number one. And then think about scheduling now. So like they've gone to the website. Now they're ready to schedule. An easy one is just, hey, is there anyone else that you would like to come in for a consult? And more often than not, there will not be, because not everyone gets, treatment, orthodontic treatment at the same time, especially if they have siblings. But there are times too when, the parent will get get treatment along with a child or daughter, a son or daughter, child or daughter, along with a son or daughter, and they'll go through that together. So it never hurts to ask. And sometimes they may have other family members living with them as well. So that's an easy one too. You can also do something simple by at the end of the call, could say something like, hey, by the way, we are a referral-based practice and we love helping family and friends too. In case you run into anyone that needs help, we offer these exclusive benefits for anyone that's been referred to the practice. It can be just a couple of lines. It doesn't have to be very long, but it's that little seed that's been planted, or it could be something like, and just so you know, we have an awesome referral program with exciting gifts just for referrals. I'll send you an email with all the details, and that could be easy like that. It's just it's 2 lines. And then you have the email kind of do the heavy lifting and show them what's possible or what all the benefits that come to them and to the people that they refer. Very, very simple. Next, appointment confirmation. Okay. So now they've scheduled and now you've actually committed them to come in, and then an easy appointment confirmation. You've got all the details, when they're coming in, what time they should check in, like I said, all the details, but then just having a line in there too, that's, click here to learn more about patient referral rewards. Something simple, right? Again, you're just you have that in your tagline, like your email signature or something like that, but this one's maybe a bigger call out perchance or a PS. Hey, PS, in case you haven't checked out our referral rewards program, here's a link that outlines all the details or something simple like that. Okay, so you want to so now already, before they've even stepped into the office, you've gotten 3 touch points on referrals. And that's really the key is the more touch points you get, the more seeds that you plant in there, the more likely you're going to get referrals. Next, when they start to check in, when they come to check in, I like to do simple things like ask seemingly random questions, obviously, some of them aren't, right? Other family members, things like that, but also things like favorite color or favorite snack or treat. And when I owned a photography business, I would do this in my intake forms. And I just, there's they wouldn't even think about it. They'd write down something. But then afterwards, after I was done shooting their event, I would send them their photos and I would include their favorite treat in there. And it was amazing how many times people would come back and say, how on earth did you know that was my favorite candy or my favorite blah, blah, blah? And I was like, well, I did ask you for it, but they don't expect you to ever remember that or do anything about it. So when you do, it just makes it that much easier for them to talk about you to other people. And that's what's so cool about some of these simple things, right? Is you over deliver on something and all of a sudden they're like, man, these guys are amazing. Okay, so that's a simple one too. Just during the check-in process, 1, ask for other family members because those might be opportunities down the road. 2, ask for things like favorite color or favorite snack or treat, and then make a note of that so you can give that to them when their treatment's all been completed. You could also do something simple to have little signage there during the check-in where it has, friends, don't let friends have crooked teeth, or you could make it funny or you could make it comical, things like that. But you could also hand out little referral cards. And this is similar to that email that you could send, after the appointment confirmation, but it just details all the benefits that are exclusively reserved for referrals. Okay. And so that's an easy one too. And just say, hey, because I'm a patient, you get all these things just because of me, and that makes the referrer feel good, but also it makes the referee feel good as well because they're getting all those benefits. So simple things like that just take a little time to think through and create can make a huge, huge impression. Next, so we've got in-office signage, and I alluded to this with the website messaging, but I love to have patient testimonials that are highlighted throughout the office that include the fact that they were referred by someone else. And then there's other things too that you can do. You can have those referral cards on display. You can even have a poster that outlines your referral program or some of the benefits of the referral program. Sometimes offices will do a type of contest, some in-office, flyers that talk about that monthly contest. That's if you refer someone, you get entered in to win something, a giveaway or something like that. So those are just a few easy ones too. That you can do in office with some signage, and you could do that in the operators. You can do that in the waiting room, things like that. Sixth, that was way off. In-office conversations. So this is a great chance to weave in some of the stories that have happened because of referrals into your discussions with patients, and just say, it could be something like, this is where it's nice to create, have like a Google Doc that has maybe 4 to 6 different stories that speak to different things. So one could be, oh man, I'm just really nervous about this. Or I had someone that had a bad experience about, before. And you could have a story that helps demonstrate them kind of overcoming that particular problem. So you could say, oh, well, they were really, really worried about this and they didn't want to come in. They actually rescheduled several times, but we went out of our way to make sure that they, rolled out the red carpet, that we didn't do anything without them feeling comfortable and 100% sure, and just detail out what you did to make them comfortable. And then what was the transformation? In the end, they were so excited at what they saw and their smile and how they felt and the confidence. It was like a night and day difference, so weaving those conversations in there, especially if again, you're trying to highlight specifically that they were, if you can, that these people were referred, but if not, just having those stories are fantastic because that gives them ammunition to go refer your practice to people they know, because if they come across someone's like, oh, I know I've had this tooth that's been bothering me for a long time. I've got this crossbite or, the crooked teeth and I just don't know what to do about it. I'm scared to go in. Then they have that story to be like, well, you should really go see these guys. Like they've helped so many people in a similar situation. You can just go have a free consult here. In fact, because I'm a patient, you get all these things, at no cost to you. Easy peasy, right? So you want to have some of those stories at the ready. You can share that doc with your team. And that's a good team building exercise actually, is just outlining what's a common objection that people have. And do we have a story that helps illustrate someone overcoming that objection? Okay. Referral card. I mentioned this before. It's a tangible reminder that can be passed along. It's easy. It goes with them, can be shared. The patient can take a couple and send them to friends or things like that, so very simple. Just outlines what you have in terms of benefits, and maybe have a QR code that goes to the page that's dedicated to referrals. And it shows some testimonials. It shows, free consult or whatever some of the benefits are, and then asks them to come in or schedule an appointment. So easy peasy. Just take some forethought to come up with what those benefits are, what you want to promote, and then, the execution side. But then once you have those, you can include those in every new patient visit, and then you can send those out on a regular basis too, to anyone that's just people that maybe have, down the road in their anniversary completion, you're sending something out. That could be included as well. Email newsletter. And this is on here a couple of times because if you look through this timeline, these are all, kind of first as they're just getting into treatment. But then after, you want to continue emailing these people even after they've completed treatment, because that's still an opportunity to generate referrals. But an email newsletter is fantastic. It's a good way to send them. Again, it's kind of a smaller, more subtle reminder. You can share patient stories. Again, that's a great opportunity to show why people feel comfortable coming to your practice. And also just reiterate why you love what you do. You're transforming people's lives. Like the confidence that comes in, it's just as amazing. It's like a night and day difference, and people just feel brand new oftentimes when they have an elevated smile like that. But then a few tactical things that I like to do is just say, hey, big shout out to all these patients that sent in referrals this past month, and just have their first name. You don't, HIPAA, obviously we want to make sure, but just have their first name, Jackie and Steve and Ted and Ann and all these people, and you list those out. Again, that's that subtle reminder that, hey, we're accepting new patients and we love referrals. They're getting rewarded for sending referrals through that recognition, which is oftentimes the biggest reward. We just want to know that people recognize what we did for them. So that's a big one, and that's an easy one too. And again, if you can share any stories of people that were referred, all the better. But the easiest one is to just highlight those people that have sent in referrals just by their first name. Social media posts. Okay, this is another great opportunity to show some before and afters to demonstrate all the things that you can do, all the issues that you can correct, and weave in some of those pain points. As you're showing those off, just say, well, God, feel silly because I'm an adult. Let's say as an older patient, kind of felt silly as an adult and not having straight teeth. I'm looking, all these kids have braces, and I felt stupid getting braces, but I didn't know if Invisalign would work and all these things. But just share that story behind the transformation, not just the before and after, but really share some of those details, because that's what hooks us in as readers. We love stories, and we can see ourselves in those stories. We can recognize that, hey, I felt that before. I felt stupid, in this situation, and this person overcame it. That means I could probably do that too. So social is a great way to share visually what you can do. Before and afters being kind of the primary thing. And shout outs too. You can do that same thing once a month. Just huge shout out to the following people that have sent in referrals. Just first name, list them out, have like a fun graphic to go with it. And if you're running a contest, you can remind them of that contest. Any referrals get entered in to win a new Porsche, or maybe not that, but something, 5 movie tickets or something like that, a night out on the town. But that's a good way too for social, is just, reminding during those before and afters, have a little tag or call to action at the bottom that says, hey, if you know anyone that has found themselves in a similar situation, let us know, send them our way, because they get access to these things, these benefits as referrals. Okay. And then finally, we've got the big reveal. The treatment has finally finished. This is huge. And oftentimes I don't see practices making a big enough deal about this. It should be massive. Like I would encourage to be as big and bold as you can, and have celebration. I think I would, having invite 4 or 5 of their friends to come and celebrate, get some cookies, get some drinks, have some balloons, have someone be taking pictures too, and just make it a big deal, some confetti guns or something. I don't know, just have fun with it. And that alone is going to help create a story that they're going to share with people that they know all day long, and just then you have those pictures. You can share that again down the road. It could be on the website. It could be on social media. It could be on your Google business listing. There's so many opportunities, but you want to make it something that they're excited to share, right? And that's where, the big reveal could be a fun way to do that. And it doesn't have to be massive. I don't think you have to spend a whole lot, but things like I mentioned, balloons, it could be confetti, it can be some drinks, it could be maybe a sign or something that you just created. And you can even get an intern to do some of that stuff, and they'd probably love that. But then imagine taking pictures of that. Okay. And then you have a wall on your office, and you've got all these reveal pictures of your patients, and there's hundreds and hundreds, and they're like 8 by 10, and everyone's excited, everyone's laughing, that's the feeling, you're conjuring this feeling or creating this feeling that they have just by being in your office, by seeing that, and that's what they want, right? So there's an opportunity there, huge one for the big reveal finish, make it a big deal, and that will come back to benefit you down the road. And then as they move on, as they progress after, treatment's completed, continuing to reach out to them via the email newsletter. You want to, again, it could be, like I mentioned, just a quick shout out, or it could be a story, or it could be, hey, this is the offer we have for this month in terms of a giveaway. For everyone that sends a referral, you get this, or this. So just keep it simple, but you want to keep in touch with them. And then after treatment, I would wait a little bit of time, a couple weeks or maybe a month, and then send out a thank you to probably 2 weeks, and just highlight how far they've come. I would love to, my biggest recommendation is to do a video, because video, you can show your emotion so much more easily. So I'd have the doctor sit down and pull up on their screen the before pictures and be like, oh man, Kylie, look how far we've come, and just walk through that transformation and make some comments, on how different they feel, the confidence, level, how much more comfortable they are, how much more oftentimes engaging and not outspoken, but they're more outgoing, and just pay them some compliments. I mean, they're going to feel that, and any chance for them to review that is going to be a huge benefit to you in your practice. So that's something that will only take a couple of minutes. If you get in the habit and just say, okay, I've got this picture, let me walk through, here goes, Kylie, we just loved having you as a patient. If only we could have all of our patients like you. So if you know anyone, definitely send us our way and we'll take really good care of them. Something simple like that. So that's an easy one as well. And then finally, I make a note to send a picture of, their transformation. It could be from the big reveal, or it could just be a final after photo, 1 year after their completion, their treatment completion. So send it. It's kind of similar to this post-treatment thank you, where you just remind them how awesome they were to work with and how it's so fun to be a small part of their life. And just, we're lucky to know you. If you know anyone that's also would like to elevate their smile, please send us their way. And then a couple referral cards, things like that. So there you have it, you guys. I tried to make this as short and sweet as possible, but you know me, I have so many ideas to run in, but these are just some of them. And I know that they can help because I've seen a lot of these in action with our clients, and they work wonders. It takes some time, right? There's going to be a period where you're feeling a little uncomfortable, and that'll smooth over time. And until it becomes just part of who you are, it becomes part of your culture. And that is the super exciting part, is when it does become part of your culture and you start seeing the huge benefits from all of that. Okay. So there are a number of different steps there. If you haven't downloaded this referral map, there's a link below. So just click on that to download it. And then we do have that's part of our program. What we do with our private clients is we actually create this whole system for you. And I'm actually toying with the idea of doing like a workshop type thing where we have people, if they want to just come in and do this, we could set up a couple of days or things, a couple hours each week to work on this and create these. So anyway, if you're interested in that, let me know. But just for now, just start with downloading the map down below, and you can take this to your team and start having that discussion. But hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, please leave them below. Or if you always have content ideas or questions that you're running up against, I love to hear those. So again, put those in the comments. We read every single one, and we'll talk to you soon.